Hello and welcome. Today, I'm going to show you how to set up authentication in Django using dj-rest-auth. If you've ever found setting up, logging in, registration, or password reset to be a headache, then this video is for you. dj-rest-auth makes it super easy to get all those important features running without having to write a ton of code. It comes with ready-made views and endpoints for things like logging in, signing up, so you can get started quickly and focus on building the rest of your app. Some great reasons to use dj-rest-auth include easy to use. So dj-rest-auth saves you from having to code everything from scratch. It is also flexible, as in you can add extra features like social logins if you want. By the end of this video, you have a working set of auth endpoints for your app. So let's jump right in and get started. Just to give you a brief overview of what dj-auth can help you do out of the box, let's look at this example that I've created. So you can see this is an application, a Django application that I've created, but I've added a documentation using Redo. If you want to learn more on how you can create a documentation like this, then I have another video that I will also provide a link that you can go check out if you want more details on how you can document your Django REST Framework API. But you can see that from this example, we have an endpoint for logging in, logging out, password change, password reset, password reset confirm. This is the same password reset confirm. We also have user registration. So if you want to register your users, you can use this endpoint. We have registration verification and registration resend email. So you already know what these endpoints will be used for. I'm going to explain these one by one in more depth, but let's look at the other remaining endpoints. So at the end of the day, with this library, you can also get your user data. So you can we have endpoints for getting your user data, updating your user data, but also uh, patching your user data. So basically, we have all these endpoints available for us. At the end of the day, dj-rest-auth helps you to move fast or helps you to build your application a bit faster than you are creating all these endpoints on your own. And you're going to see that the installation process is not that complicated. So let's continue from that and now create our own Django project and use dj-rest-auth dj-rest-auth for our project. So I have a project that I have already created. Let me just open it in the browser. So learning this project, you see that we don't have any endpoints at the moment, but we're going to install dj-rest-auth, and then we're going to configure all the endpoints that we need to configure. So the first thing that we need to do is to go to dj-rest-auth documentation. If you just search it up, the first result that comes is the one. So how do we set this up? So first of all, let's just go to the introduction page. So you can see this introduction talks about how you could, if you're creating a project, you could create your own endpoints for logging in, registration, logout. But this library is going to help you take care of all that. So we're going to, like I said, we are going to have these registration endpoints, logging in, logging out, retrieving the user model, password change, password reset via email, and social media authentication. So to get started, all we need to do is to go to installation, and then uh, we are going to need to install this. So I'm going to come here. Let me just open another command prompt, and then let's install dj-rest-auth. And we're going to come back with the documentation after we've done that. And the documentation says we need to add these. So my assumption is you've already installed Django REST framework. So all we're going to do is add the REST framework token, which is required for this to work. So I'm going to go back. You can see it has installed dj-rest-auth. So I'm going to go to settings and then applications right here. And you can see I already have REST framework. So I'm going to add the REST framework auth token. Go back to the documentation, and the other thing that we need to add is the dj-rest-auth itself. So I'm going to go back and then add this. Once I've done that, I'm going to go back to the documentation, and that's it. Then all we need to do is to add this. I'm going to explain this. Let us just add it first. So I'm going to go to my URLs right here, and let me just add it here. And you can see it says dj-rest-auth, and then it includes the dj-rest-auth URLs. So with this, let's see what endpoints we are going to have after doing this. So I'm going to save, and then once I've done that, let's see if I need to migrate. Basically, I need to learn Python manage.py and migrate. Let's see if there is anything to migrate. Let's see, we have an error here. What does this error say? Hmm. Let's see. It says invalid syntax, perhaps you forgot a comma. I am assuming right here. That's where I forgot a comma. I'm going to save this again and then learn migrate. It says the name include is not defined. Yeah, that's true. So let's come here, django.urls, and then import path. We're also going to import include here. And this should work. Okay, you can see it has migrated the auth token. So once you've done that, I'm going to learn the server. If I think the server is already running right here. So let's check that. It's not. Yeah, it's learning right here. We have migrated. You can see it said you have an applied migrations, but we've migrated this. So maybe let's just restart the server as well. Okay, so let's now go to right here, and let's just refresh it and see. Look at that. After just doing that, we now have the login, logout, password change, password reset, auth, password reset confirm, user. We have all these endpoints. The only endpoints that are remaining here is the registration endpoint. So basically, just after doing that, you get all these endpoints. I think that's the quickest way to set up this thing. So what I'm going to do is for us to test these endpoints. To log in, we need a user. At the moment, we don't have any user. So what I'm going to do is go back here, and then for now, since we don't have the registration endpoint, we're going to create a user. So I'm going to say Python manage.py create super user. Okay, I'm going to call this user admin. Email should be admin at local dot just say lc, and then the password should be admin again, yes, and that's it. So we've created now a user. We're going to use that user and log in here. You can see it says this endpoint checks the credentials and return the last token if the credentials are valid and authenticated. Okay, so you can see from here it says we need to provide the username. In my case, the username was admin. the email. We can leave this part out. We can leave this, uh, but okay, let's leave this one. And then I'm going to provide the password. So the password is admin as well. Okay, let's try that. Okay, and you can see it says what? It has given us the key right here, meaning we are now logged in. But now let's go and take another endpoint. So there's another endpoint here, logout. We're not going to check that at the moment, but let's go to password change. So for example, you are a logged in user and you want to change your password. You can use this endpoint. So this endpoint says it calls the Django auth set password from save method. It accepts the foreign post parameters. It accepts the new password too. Basically the same password, you're just confirming it, and then it returns success or fail message. So let's try that out. So remember, you have to be logged in for you to use this endpoint. So the new password will be admin at, okay, let's just try admin1. And I want you to see one other important thing that this endpoint comes with. So we have this password, but you can see it's a simple password. Let's try and see what happens. It says, okay, right here, it says the password is too similar to the username, first of all, and then this password is too short, okay, and then the password is too common. So you can see it comes with all these safeguards that you can take advantage of. So what I'm going to do here is to make my password more robust. So I'm going to say 2024, okay, and then the same thing here, 2024. This should be accepted. So right now it says new password has been saved. So if we are logging in the next time, we have to use now this password that we've just updated. All right. So now we are going to log out because these other endpoints do not require you to be a logged in user. But before we do that, let's come to this endpoint where we can get now the user details. So this endpoint, it says basically it just gives you the user. It returns the user model fields. Let's try it out. It's a get request. Okay, so from here you can see we have this response body, and it has told us that the user, the current logged in user, is the admin, and this is the email address and all these other details. The first name, the last name. At the very end, I'll also show you how also show you how you can maybe let's say change these view sets or these views in order, or serializers, in order to retain all the data that you want. I will not go into the specifics, but I'll give you the direction. So apart from this, another thing that we can do is now to reset our password. So we have checked this and we have logged in. Let's try now to log out. So this is a post request. Let's try to execute it. And then here you can see we have successfully been logged out, right? And then the other thing that we are going to try now is the reset password. We have already reset our password using this endpoint, and we said that to use this endpoint, then you have to be a logged in user. Use this password or to use this endpoint, then you need to provide the email that you're trying to reset the password for. So let's try this one. I'm going to provide the email that I used to register with. So it will be admin at local dot local.lc. But first of all, let me try something that is not available. So I'll just add a one there and try to execute. You can see it says password reset email has been sent. So basically, if you've used a long email address, it will still tell you that it has sent the email. But then if that uh, email address is not registered in the system, then it will not send that email. Now let me try something that we have. Okay, and then let's execute here. We are going to get this error. And for you to appreciate this error, what I'm going to do is take this and do it here. We're going to provide the email right there and then post it right. It's saying reverse for password reset confirm not found. Password reset confirm is not a valid view function or pattern name. And then down here, it says reverse for password reset confirm not found. Password reset confirm is not a valid view function or pattern name. What is really happening here is this is using this password reset confirm endpoint, and then this is not available in our endpoint or our URL or endpoint list. So to solve this problem, what we need to do is add another endpoint to our application. So when you go here, all you have to do is to add another endpoint with the specified name. So I'm going to provide the endpoint right here. So we have this endpoint, and let me talk about this endpoint. So basically, this endpoint is taking advantage of the password reset confirm view that comes with dj-rest-auth. So we have to import it first. So basically, what we've done here is if you go to the error again, you see that it's saying it's using this one, this URL name, password reset confirm. So the default names for the URLs that comes with dj-rest-auth, they start with list and then the underscore like this. That's the problem because we are now using the default template that is used within Django. Then we need to make sure that this endpoint name is the is as similar to the template that we are using within Django. That's why we are providing the same password reset confirm name here that is similar to the one that is in this error or in this template, because this is an email template basically. So yeah, you can read further on that, but that is how you solve this issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this, but you can also see here we have password reset and then confirm, and then this takes in these parameters, these two parameters, which will be important when we are confirming after resetting our password and we want to confirm. We're going to use the UID and the token. So I'm going to save this and then go back here, and I'm just going to refresh it and let's see. And then you can see it says password reset email has been sent. So I'm going to go back to the um, to the application here, and what I want to show you is this. Mhm. It says no connection could be made because the target machine actively refused it. So failed to send password reset email to 1. So basically, the error now that we're facing is due to the confusion with Django. Where am I going to send the email? Okay. So to solve this, you need to set up your SMTP email, maybe with Gmail or G Suite or whatever SMTP protocol you're using. Or another way would be to set up the Django email backend that prints the email on the console. So to do that, what you have to do is add this email backend. So for that to happen, you need to go to the settings, and I'm just going to add the console email backend. So what this will do is for every email, we're going to console log it like on the console here. So let's save this and then go back here, refresh it. And then let's go here, and you can see this is the email. So we now have an email, and then in the email we have these two things that are important. We have this, which is the UUID, and then we have the token. So what I'm going to do is now come to the endpoint that when, let's say, you've reset your password and then you have to confirm. So this is the endpoint. Let's try it out. You can see it says new password. So basically now we can add a new password. So it will be admin at 2025, just to differentiate with the other one. And then here we are also going to add admin at 2025. Okay. And then the UUID, we're going to get it from here. It's this one. So basically, since we are using an API, our front end could be on another domain. So basically, you need to find a way. To get this UUID and then the token, and then you can make a request like this to the backend. So basically, you can configure this email to make sure that this URL is the one that is in your front end, and then once you've done that, this goes to your front end. So someone clicks this link, but then opens in your front end, and then you extract the UUID and the token and make a request to the backend. So that's how I look at it, or how you can implement it. So for you to do that, you need to change the password reset confirm template that comes with Django. If you want me to do that, I can do that in another video, so that this video doesn't take too much time. It's already taking longer than I wanted it to be. So we can do that in another video. So with this, I can reset the password. Let's see. It says the two passwords fields don't match. Let's see. Yeah, here, execute. And you can see password has resetted with the new password. Now we've resetted our password. So basically, we've looked at all these endpoints. The last thing that I want to do, I'm afraid this video is getting wrong than I wanted it to be, but let me just finish with that part. So for you to configure the registration, what you need to do is, let's go back to the documentation. So right here, what you need to do is, first of all, install this. I'm going to go back here, right here, and then we need to install uh, Django rest-auth. All right, this is a requirement. Says, okay, let's do it again. And then here we have to say pip install dj-rest-auth with social. Okay, so we're going to install that. While it's installing, let's go back here. And then the things we need to add are these. These are required for us to add under our applications, because basically this uses Django or auth. So we need to have it in our system. So basically, we are going to add these applications. So I'm going to come here, add that comma, and then add this. Once we've done that, let's go back here and see what else we need to add. So we need now to add this registration endpoint. So I'm going to go back, and then and let's save here, and then go here under URLs. I'm going to add the authentication, the registration endpoint. Right, that's all we need to do. And then let's see. Um, we should face an error, but I'll tell you how we can solve it. Yep, it says, what is it saying? Okay, it says um auth account middleware must be added to the settings middleware. So basically, what we need to do is to add a middleware. We need to go to middleware, and then so settings, middleware, and then add this middleware, and then save it. We'll go back here. We need to add a comma here as well, and then save it. And you can see it's running and says we need to basically run migrate. So we're going to migrate again, and you can see we've added these models. So let's run the server again. And then let's go back here. And now you can see we have new endpoint registration, registration resend email, and then registration verify email. So let's do this. First of all, let's register a new user. So I'm just going to say here Gomez, and here it will be Gomez at um, gmail.com, and then the password is going to be, let's just use the same password, admin at 2024, and then here same password as well, admin at 2024. Okay, so execute, and it says what? Okay, it says site matching query does not exist. So we forgot something very, very important. I'm going to go back to the documentation, and where it says registration here, we need to add the site ID. This is very, very important. Please don't forget this one. I'm going to go back to settings and add site ID anywhere, but I'm going to add it here. Okay, let's see if we can relearn this. Okay, right here. Mm, let's see if we can execute again. Now it says a user with that username already exists. Okay, so basically it seems like it created, but now what I'm going to do, let's just say, okay, Gomez Walumbe, and then Gomez Walumbe at gmail.com. Let me copy this one, and okay, let's execute. It says 204. It is basically created. Let's go here. You can see now it says you are receiving this email because user Gomez Walumbe has given your email address to register an account on example.com. So now what we need to do to confirm, we need this token. So let me just, I want to save the email that I copied right here, but now we need this token. So I'm going to go back here, and then like if you didn't get the email and you want to resend the email, you can use this endpoint. So you can make this endpoint available. All you have to do is just add the email address, and it will resend an email like it did with the token. And then the last thing that we're going to do is now verify this email address. So if I try it out here, verify email, we need to add the key right here. Okay. So for us to verify, let's execute that. And then it says see rise order. Okay. Okay, let's refresh and then go back here. If it fails, we are going to try another way, but this happens sometimes. So I'm going to do that again and let's see. Now you can see it says detail okay. That means it has verified this email. So we can now use the credentials that we've added or the user that we've added and then log in into the system. So basically you can enforce this or you can keep it as optional. That's something you can do, but you can get all that information if you come to the documentation and go through it. Otherwise, those are the things that are very important. The main challenge that I faced on my side when working with this was the error that I showed you, the one that comes when you're trying to reset a password. And otherwise, everything else is straightforward and simple. You can follow along with the documentation. If you need more information on how you can set up the social authentication logins, then I can also create another video for that as well. Otherwise, this is all I had for you guys. Um, Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and then look for more other videos that I've created. Until next time, have a great time.